welcome to the Middle Ground. I'm Ohio Divided. He's Michigan Metal, and we're back for another episode previewing the college football weekend. Brian Kelly, there's no question if he's out at LSU anymore. He is out, and they're paying him that $54 million buyout. Michigan takes down Michigan State. Michigan State fans can sit here and complain about whatever calls this went that way went the other way, whatever they want to make up. Michigan was a better team. They dominated from start to finish. They deserve to win the game. And lastly, I'm going to get into the Bengals for very briefly. I'm sure a lot of you saw my video on Twitter today. I was pretty upset when you lose to an 0-7 football team, allow 500 yards against Justin Fields, who was called out by his owner this past week. Team doesn't have Garrett Wilson. They don't have Sauce Gardner playing, and you lose. That causes for a crash out from Ohio Divided, and that's exactly what happened to me. That's all I have to say about it. I'll get into it more later in the week. You saw my emotions on Twitter. If you haven't, go check it out. I was pissed. There's all there is to it. Outside of that, I don't want to talk about that fraudulent franchise. So, Metal, we're back.
We're back. What's going on, bud? How was your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Besides the Bengals being absolute dog shit.
It was good. It was a lot of moving again, but yeah, I mean, fuck, man. Like, Ohio State's on a bye week. Like, Bengals are rolling in. Like, you have the Jets at home, 0-7. Like, you feel really good. Vibes are high after the last Thursday night game with Joe Flacco and beating the Steelers. Like, vibes are high, and in the most Bengals fashion ever. They shit the bed. Defense is terrible. That's all I really have to say at this point. Like I said, I think you saw my video on Twitter. Like, that was my pure emotions in the moment, and me just being absolutely fucking livid. Like, this organization, just their ability to draft has put them in the spot of why they're in, where they're at in today's, like, and just with today's roster and the defense that they've constructed. They've constantly just drafted based on guys' physical attributes. They draft on guys' upsides, never consider what their production did, what their production was in college. It's strictly just how big are they, how high can they jump, how fast can they run. All right, if they check off all those boxes, we're good. It doesn't matter. It never comes down to their ability to play football. So they've missed on a lot of draft picks over the last 5 years. And when you have Joe Burrow and you have Jamar Chase, probably can't be doing that if you want to sustain any kind of success. So part of the reason why they're in where they're
at. I watched like bits and pieces of the game, and I saw, because I'm in a survivor pool, right? So I think 3 people picked the Bengals.
I bet a lot of survivor pools got ruined this weekend.
Oh yeah, that was great. So 3 people picked the Bengals, and I saw that you guys were up 30-31-16, and I was like, oh, well, fuck. I'm like, well, the Bengals are winning. And I was like, I was talking to my father-in-law, because we're watching the Bears also shit down their pants as well today. And we were kind of just like talking about, like, Bears got to play the Bengals, and good old Joe Flacco is going to come into Chicago and probably win. And then I saw the end of the game, and that basically the the fake pitch to the pass, where I don't remember his name, but he basically just like
Chase, the Bengals running back.
Yeah, was it Green that fucking mossed the Bengals cornerback, and to tie the game? I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, it was Taylor, not Green. Yeah, it was Taylor. I was like, dude. Like Mason Taylor basically got a touchdown over that. Like, that was some fucking absolute piss poor defense. And it was Turner. That's who it was.
If you want to see, which fucking DJ Turner, he's been fucking awesome this year. I don't have many bad things to say about him. If he didn't tear his ACL last year, he probably would be a top 5 corner in the league right now. He's been awesome this year. I mean, that was just a bad play. Guys are gonna have bad plays, but if you want to watch a display of just piss-poor, fucking god-awful defense, turn on the Cincinnati Bengals. It's been this way. This is a second straight year of watching this dog shit, and it ultimately comes down they can't draft. And They've let key guys go like Jesse Bates, like DJ Reader. A lot of the guys they had when they were in that kind of 3-year Super Bowl window where they went to a couple AFC championships, had some success, went to the Super Bowl. A lot of those guys have now moved on or are at the end of their careers. And when you have to start paying your offense, when you have to start paying Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, you're gonna have to stay cheap on defense. And the way that you can stay competitive and stay cheap is you have to stay cheap via the draft. And they just haven't done that. Been terrible at drafting, and that's why we watch this dog shit every single Sunday.
Is Joe Burrow expected? Let me turn on my game. Is Joe Burrow expected to come back within the next couple of weeks? Because I saw he's got the boot off. Isn't it like 6 to 8 weeks after the boot?
I think they were always thinking like December time frame. So probably like I would say 6 weeks. I would guess he'd be back. But I mean, like, what's the point at this? Like, you just lost to the 0-7 Jets. You just fell to 3-5. Like, what is the point of bringing him back? You're probably not going to be in any. This is kind of what pissed me off, honestly, about the Flacco trade. For one, I didn't think it was going to be a good fit because Flacco couldn't move very well, and he looked pretty bad in Cleveland. But the dude can still throw the ball, and as long as he's getting the ball out quick, like, he's still pretty effective. Like, he showed that the last few games with the Bengals. But what really worried me is you bring in a competent guy, and he's going to rattle off some wins. Like, he's going to win some games, but it's not going to be anything. The defense is too bad. You're not going to get in the playoffs. So you're just going to live in, like, that purgatory area where you're going to sit at 7-10, 8-9. You're going to be drafting 15 and take guys like Shamar Stewart, who are just absolute busts before you even watch them take the field. I don't know. They're an absolute shit show of an organization. They are kind of in this state where they're just good enough to keep fans coming and put asses in the seats to watch games and sell tickets, but they're not good enough to get back in the playoffs like they were a couple years ago and make some noise. So the ownership's gonna remain happy. Like, tickets are going to continue to sell. People are still going to start showing up because they have Joe Flacco, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Like, they are entertaining to watch. Like, you don't just go put up 38 points and then 30-some points, whatever it was against the Steelers. Like, that's still going to sell tickets and get people out to the stadiums. But it's never going to be enough where, like, ownership really only does things and changes things whenever money starts to become an issue. And money's not going to become an issue. They're just going to continue to be entertaining, win enough games to keep people coming, but not anything that's going to really ever move a needle. And they're just going to live in this, like, picking from 13 to 18 pick selection every single year until anything changes.
Like, I'm looking at your guys' schedule, and because earlier today I was looking at the AFC North. I mean, you guys are not far behind from the Steelers. I mean, Steelers are 4-2, and you guys are 3-5. And I don't know what's the score of the Steelers game right now?
I think they're up right now, like
Steelers
9-7 or something. But like,
no,
even more so, why today is so much more frustrating. Like, you beat the Steelers last week, you win today, you're back to 4-4, and then right now I'm sitting here like die hard rooting for the Packers. Now it's almost like I don't really fucking care because, like, we just lost to the Jets. Like, that was a must-win you had to have if you were going to get into the playoffs because you're going to need at least 9, maybe 10 wins to get in. And when you have a team like the Jets who are 0-7, you have to win those games. And like, now you're probably going to be sitting here at 7 or 8 wins and then be like, wow, if we just would have won that Jets game, we'd be in the playoffs right now. And I don't know. I hate this. Like, I hate this middle ground. No pun intended. I hate this middle ground. I would rather just go 3-14, 4-13, get a top 5 pick, draft a difference maker so we don't live in these spots where it's going to be a little bit harder to draft and it actually takes you looking into the prospects and digging into them and making an educated pick. Because the Bengals cannot do that. They're good at the can't miss picks. Don't get me wrong. They're really good at taking Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase whenever they're there. But fuck, me and you can do that.
So like looking at your schedule, like you guys got the Bears next week, and the Bears are just beatable. Because Caleb Williams is just incompetent, and then you guys got Steelers again. The Patriots are really good. Drake May is just a fucking stud in New England. Like, I'm so glad he got a second chance with them. And then you guys have the Ravens, and then the Bills, then Ravens, Dolphins, Cardinals, and then Browns.
I
mean,
know.
you
like
win. That's like if you get Burrow back in time, like you guys can be a playoff team. As long as like the Steelers just shit down their fucking legs too, and just start losing.
It's so frustrating, man. Like, this was one you had to win, and you kind of are in that limbo again of like, do I root for them to make the playoffs? Do I just root for them to fucking suck so we can get like a top 5, top 7 pick? I don't know, man. They're just I know how this is gonna go. They're gonna go 7-10, 8-9, and miss.
At least he got Ohio State.
At least I got Ohio State, dude. I tell myself that almost every single day. Like
I feel like that's all.
I watch
Ohio proteins.
It is, dude. It's insane. That's probably why Ohio State fans are so delusional and fucking stupid at times. Because it's like they watch on Saturdays, they just watch 9 times out of 10 an absolute butt fucking, and then you turn the game on Sunday and you just watch the most incompetent brand of football you could possibly even think of, and you're just like. You're basically just built on this bipolarness of just from one extreme to the next, where I legitimately, most Sundays, at the end of the day, am like, thank God I have Ohio State or my life would fucking suck, because the Reds are incompetent, the Bengals are incompetent. I don't really follow an NBA team. I'm going to try to start following the Timberwolves and the Cavs this year, but I'm not passionate about either of those teams like I am the other three. And it's like, every team outside of Ohio State that I follow and care about fucking suck.
Start watching hockey.
I know. I need to learn more players. That's my issue. I like hockey. I like going to the games whenever I do go to them.
Yeah.
I just don't know enough players. And
right.
Like, I don't know. I feel like the players make it fun to watch. Like, yeah, teams are fun, but you like teams because of the players on the team. And outside of the handful of guys that probably the entire world knows, I don't know many guys outside of that. I didn't like play hockey. I didn't like grow up around hockey, so I don't understand it as much. I mean, obviously I understand the concept of it, but I don't understand the details and like, I don't know, just the not playing it, not really following it before, and just trying to get into it at this point in my life. It's just kind of hard for me to grasp onto and to really ultimately care about.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up like hours apart, so like hockey's not really a thing in like Northwest Ohio. I mean, there are hockey teams, yes, but like where I grew up at, like we didn't have a hockey team. So like it was either like you join like a club or try to do like juniors and stuff, but around here in Chicago, like all the high schools and shit, every high school has a hockey team.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I was gonna say. I bet like around where you're at now in Chicago area, like,
oh yeah,
hockey's probably the shit. Like a lot of
like
most kids probably play hockey growing up.
Oh yeah, like my wife's sister, like all her friends like were hockey players. Like they're in juniors, which is kind of like the pipeline to go pro and shit. It's not like college hockey or anything like that. But it's extremely competitive, and there's like a lot of kids that like will go to like play in college at like Central Michigan and shit around here. I'm like, oh fuck, dude, that's awesome. Like,
yeah,
I've never done anything.
Those northern schools are absolute powerhouses whenever it comes to hockey.
Oh yeah, especially the Michigan schools.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Like that's crazy. Yeah, dude, I think that like Zach Taylor is probably on his last year at coaching at the Bengals, but maybe like Joe Burrow will be like his cop out.
I don't know, man. They held on to Marvin Lewis, their last coach, for like 20-some years. And
oh my god, dude.
Basically just accepted mediocrity with him. Like he needs fired tonight. Like he needs fired right fucking now. but they're not going to do it. That's just not how this front office moves. They're just completely content with as long as the money is coming in and the bills are getting paid and they're ending up in the green to profit some money. That's all they care about, dude. They're legitimately so cheap. As long as he can keep putting asses in the seats, he's fine. He's not going anywhere. I will be utterly shocked if they fire him.
Yeah, that would be a shocking firing. I mean, out of all the firings this year, I mean, it's outside of college, but I would be shocked if they fired him.
He deserves to be fired, but they're not going to do it.
Yeah. No. I mean, you think like the city of Cincinnati is like, well, this guy brought us to a Super Bowl.
I think a majority of the fan base wants him gone. I would say at least 3/4 of the fan base wants him gone. There's just been so much incompetency you've seen out of him like the past few years, and everybody knows like he got to the Super Bowl on the coattails of a defense that was playing really well, and then having Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase is absolutely fucking dominating. Other than that, like the guy consistently loses like these types of games like today. He consistently fucks up in big situations. Like it's not just a one-off with him. It's just been time after time after time. It's a trend. Like it's a legit thing at this point. But they're not going to get rid of him. And I'm done talking about them. Let's get on to college football, man. Talk about something that's actually going to brighten my mood a little bit.
Before we go on to this, did you see Cam Stadaboo's injury?
Oh my God! Yes, I.
That was terrible.
That dude's foot was fucking pointing the other way.
He was hanging. Dude was sitting there hanging like a limp wrist.
I saw.
I'm
that.
like, holy shit!
I saw that and I was like, shit, man. Like he might. Is that like some Kevin Ware shit where like his bone is just broken through the skin and his bone's just sitting there dangling? I couldn't see it.
I don't know if it was a compound. I don't know if it was a compound fracture or not. But I mean, I feel bad for the Giants. Like Malik Neighbors and now Cam Stadaboo, both done. They said that he has a dislocated ankle.
Dislocated.
So I don't
yeah,
dude, that thing was...
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's clearly dislocated, but it's fucking shattered too.
Oh yeah, that dude's gonna be in a wheelchair for months. Like no pressure on that thing for fucking months.
I feel like that's not good for him either because he's not really known for his speed, and for him to lose any kind of speed, that's not going to help him at all.
Yeah. Yep. That sucks, man. And his dad was at the game too. That's just horrible.
Yeah, that's tough. You hate injuries, like it's a part of sports that suck. That and bad coaching, those two things are the worst when it comes to sports.
Yeah. Like, fuck.
All right, let's get into this. Let's start off with Were you going to say something?
I said I know a thing or two about bad coaching.
Oh.
We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
All right. We'll get to it then. Let's start off with Indiana. Indiana, I'm going to say it once again. They are for real. As an Ohio State fan, I view them as probably the biggest threat to Ohio State today. They are coached really well. They have a really good quarterback. They have a really good defense. And they absolutely handled a UCLA team that's been playing some really, really good ball the last 3 weeks. UCLA started off 0-4, started off that nice 3-game win streak with a win over Penn State. So they were sitting at 3-4, rolling pretty good. And I think the spread was like 25.5 last week. Thought it was pretty interesting, and I didn't throw any money on it, but I was like, damn, I would probably take UCLA in that spot. They've been playing some pretty good football lately. But nope, Indiana won by 50. And one thing that really stuck out to me the most is, as I was watching the game, I was like, damn, like Indiana is fucking killing them in the run game, or like stopping the run, stopping UCLA's run. So I went back and looked. UCLA was 11th in all of FBS in rushing the last 3 weeks during their three-game win streak, 237 yards per game, and they held them to 88 yards yesterday.
Some good defense, man. That's the fucking Signetti, smoking the Signetti formula right there.
I am done clowning him. I'm done clowning him, man. He is an absolute dog. He knows how to coach. his team is probably the most fundamentally sound and well coached team that there is out there. And the craziest part about it is, like, he's not sitting there with 4 and 5 stars. He's sitting there with a bunch of like 3 and 4 star transfers. So if he can really start recruiting and getting better talent in there, watch the fuck out.
Is Mendoza a transfer?
Yeah, he came from Cal. I think he played 2 years at Cal.
Oh, yep.
Yeah,
That's
so
right,
he had Curtis Rourke last year. Curtis Rourke came from Ohio. He was pretty fucking good last year, and the dude played with a torn ACL like the whole year. And they went 11-1 last year, and they're more than likely, we talked about this the other day, like they're more than likely going to go undefeated the rest of the way out. And we said like UCLA, this game this past weekend was probably their biggest threat of dropping one. And what did they do? Go out and drop an absolute fucking 50 nugget right on their head.
I mean, Penn State and Jim Knowles can come out of nowhere.
Yeah, they could. And then I don't know if you saw this. You said you were pretty busy on Saturday, so I got you when it comes to all the college football topics. My wife was working all day, and I had a bunch of stuff to do in the morning and shit. But from noon, I ordered some wings, sat my happy ass down right in the recliner, and I watched football all fucking day. So I got a nice breakdown, nice view of the entire Saturday slate. But
before you do that, where did you get wings at? And please don't tell me you got B-dubs.
I didn't get B-dubs. It was just a local small place. You wouldn't. No.
Roosters?
No. It was a small, like a mom and pop shop around the place that I'm from. Like you would have never heard of it before. But they make like your unbreaded naked wings like really fucking good. They were legit.
Fucking tinfoil.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
That's when you know the wings are good.
Oh yeah. You gotta have the tinfoil.
Yes, for sure. And the sauce. Nothing pisses me off more is when you don't have fucking saucy wings. I don't get wings to eat bare chicken, you stupid fucks. I get wings because I like the chicken and I like your sauce.
I mean, like, have you ever tried like a dry rub, like a lemon pepper?
Absolutely.
Or like a Cajun?
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
I think I have. I like them. They're not bad. I like flavor, and I like buffalo wings. So
yeah, that's same here. Buffalo wings are absolute fire. Are you a blue cheese or are you a ranch guy?
Ranch.
You gotta grow up, bro.
I don't mind it when they have the blue cheese. I don't mind it when they have the blue cheese like drizzled on. I just don't dip it in blue cheese.
That's fair.
Yeah. So anyways, I don't know if you saw Saturday morning, there were reports that came out and said Steve Sarkisian is interested in an NFL coaching job. Very interesting, I found. I think that it's pretty well known that this year at Texas is not going as planned. I mean, they should have gotten beat by Mississippi State. They were down 38-21 with 7-8 minutes left in the game and found a way to come back and win. But it's kind of just been that type of story for Steve Sarkisian in Texas this past year. I know after the game in his press conference, he absolutely blew up about the rumor and basically said it was complete bullshit, not true at all. But I have a hard time believing that. I don't know what your opinion is, Metal, but whenever something like this gets leaked, I don't think that is unintentional, or maybe not unintentional, but where there's smoke, there's fire. Something is definitely going on. Now, he may have not have wanted it to get out. That could definitely be a possibility. But I think that there is definitely something here. This just doesn't surface out of thin air coming from nowhere.
I don't know why. I mean, I think Steve Sarkisian does have he has the offensive mindset, right? Like he is an offensive guy.
Yep.
I just don't see who in the NFL would pick him up as a head coach, or other than just to be an offensive coordinator.
They tied him to the report that came out was from Diana Rossini, and the team that they tied him to was the Tennessee Titans. But all it really kind of said was that he would be interested. Not that he was probably going to end up there, but more so that he would just be interested in a job with the Titans. But I don't know. Who knows? I know that they always talk about like college football for head coaches in college football. It is as hard as it's ever been for them. Like between like fundraising, NIL, dealing with transfers, dealing with your kids constantly wanting more money, wanting more of anything, everything, playing time, money, new car, whatever it is. And then you also got to basically be a CEO of an entire organization. It's as hard as it's ever been for a college football coach. So you always hear a lot of times like coaches leave college, go to the NFL, and they never come back just because it's a lot more of a luxury and a hell of a lot less time. You don't have to deal with the recruiting and the bullshit.
It's rare for coaches like in the NFL or college to go to the NFL and then come like straight back and just be like extremely successful too. Besides like Urban Meyer and you can throw Nick Saban, Urban Meyer, and then Jim Harbaugh, and then just leave again. But I just don't. I don't see him being a fit on the Titans.
I don't know if anybody's a fit in the Titans. I think they're just fucking terrible.
Yeah, they're fucking terrible, dude.
But yeah,
Tyler Lockett said, "Nope, I'm out of here."
Yeah,
he fucking dropped his contract.
Well, I think a lot of it, like you saw, like Jim Harbaugh and you saw Pete Carroll go from college into the NFL and have a ton of success, and then you saw guys like Nick Saban and Urban Meyer who went to the NFL and didn't have much success. My opinion is it's kind of the coach's player or the player coaches players. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but anyways, basically like a player's coach. Yes, thank you. I think that they have a lot more success in the NFL because you go in there and the players like you, they rally around you. Like Nick Saban and Urban Meyer's approach to kids is motherfucking them up and down, like basically scaring them to play really, really hard and listen to what they're saying. If you go to the NFL where you're talking to grown-ass men, making money, providing for their families, they're not going to respond to you in a positive light. Where I think, like Jim Harbaugh is a very good players coach. Any player that's ever played for him has nothing but great things to say about the guy. Pete Carroll, same way. Players loved him. I think it's just a lot easier when you're a players coach and you don't focus on motherfucking guys, but basically just trying to get the guys to like you, to respect you. That's when I think you see that translate from college to NFL a lot better.
Nick Saban and Urban Meyer are kind of like drill instructors a little bit. Like they just form, they form people into being like all-stars or like NFL pros or to be the best what they can be. But they're not like buddy. Like I want to like grow with you and go to the finish line with you. In that kind of way. Like it's just a different relationship.
It's kind of like putting the fear of God in you. So that you fucking listen to me and what I tell you. You better do what I tell you to do. That's how their approach.
Yeah.
I think
Jim Harbaugh and Pete are definitely not like that.
Right.
Like Pete Carroll was Seattle, like he was buddy with everybody and still a coach at the same time, but with that 2013 Super Bowl team, like he was a coach and obviously he was the head man in charge, but he wasn't like no fucking dictator or anything like that. He was completely relative to the players, and the players all appreciated him.
I think that Urban is much worse than Saban. I think Saban probably Urban related to kids, I think, but I think in terms of just like motherfucking a kid up and down, I think Urban was worse at that than what Saban was. Like, you hear stories, like Zach Smith talks about it all the time, and you just hear other guys that have worked with Urban. He was a complete fucking psycho. Like, he would flip fuck if things were not going how he wanted it to go. And I think the players liked him because the result on the field was wins and championships, but they feared him. They were scared of him. Yeah.
They didn't scared to make mistakes, like he pushed. Like Nick and Urban would push their players to be the best that they can be, and it's kind of like the same analogy of I don't want to make mistakes because my dad's gonna beat the shit out of me if I do, so right. I'm gonna get good grades in school, so I don't have to get my ass kicked with a fucking belt or anything like that, you know.
Yeah,
And then that's
I mean,
kind of
yeah,
the same.
that's a great way to put it. Like you want to get good grades because you don't want to have your dad beating your ass. So they both ultimately produce results at the end of the day. But whenever you go to the NFL and you're talking about guys on contracts providing for their families and grown ass men, that approach just doesn't work. Like if
Yeah,
my dad came to me
it's
right
definitely
now
different.
and was like, "You better fucking do this, or I'm going to beat your ass and whip my belt out with your ass," like I have my own house, I have my own shit. Shut the fuck up. Like
Yeah, that's exactly how it was like for Urban in Jacksonville. Like I'm pretty
yeah,
sure he was probably talking these fucking grown ass adults sideways, and that's what happened with like the kicker incident. To pretty much just led to his downfall. Like, nah, I'm going straight to HR. Fuck you. I don't
yeah, he
care.
did. Nobody respected him. But
Yeah,
for the Sark topic, one thing that I find interesting, like I said, where there's smoke, there's fire. I think that there is something here. I don't know exactly if he'll leave for the NFL. Who knows? That's remained to be seen. But if he does, I think that Texas is bringing out the Brinks truck for Kurt Signetti, and his buyout is $15 million after this year. And you might sit here and say, well, that's a lot. Well, our note here on Brian Kelly's a little bit late. He's actually fired. His buyout's 54, so a $15 million buyout for Texas for Sir Kurt Signetti is fucking nothing. And you also consider it's Texas. They have oil money. They can go to Kurt Signetti and say, hey, look, buddy, we're going to make you one of the highest paid coaches in college football. He's already third, so they're probably going to have to bump him up to whether it be the highest or the second highest. And if you're Kirby Smart and Ryan Day, you're praying to God this happens because then they'll get a pay bump. But anyways, they could go in, make him the highest paid coach in college football, go to him and basically say, hey, look, man, we just spent $40 million on our roster in NIL. If you want $40 million, if you want $50 million, tell me how much you want for your roster at the University of Texas, and we'll make you the highest paid coach, along with all these other benefits and things that are going to be coming for you. Please tell me how Kurt Signetti turns that down.
yeah. I don't think I would see him leaving, and especially it just in just in the environment that how college is right now. I mean, you always especially like you said, the oil money that like Texas like just brings in. I mean, and like Texas is a recruiting powerhouse as well. I mean, this is what like Arch's sophomore year, right? Or no, junior
He,
year.
I think he's a redshirt sophomore. So it's
Yeah,
third year.
so
Yes, third year.
I mean, I don't see. Do I see Arch going to the NFL
Fuck no.
this year? No, fuck, dude, he would be undrafted free agent like
Yeah.
immediately. I mean, if they stick around and just like obviously pick up, I think they're like within the top 10 recruiting class for 2026. And if they just stick around and like Texas like just pays him out, I don't see him leaving. He'll probably test the waters for sure with the NFL, but I don't see him leaving.
Yeah, I think it's a long shot. I also saw some other people just, and again, this is like under a report from Diana Rossini. I'm reading through comments. I saw a lot of people saying that he was basically not really familiar with how bad Arch Manning actually was. And there's a lot of boosters and guys like that who are throwing a lot of money at Arch Manning right now. So he's almost pressured to play him when he's clearly not it. Like the backup is probably could provide you a little bit better result, I think. I think a lot of people would agree with that. So I don't know. Maybe he feels like he's strapped or he just is stuck with this Manning and he has to play him because he's a Manning and he's got a lot of money tied to his name. I don't know. If he does leave, I mean, do you agree that like Kurt Signetti is getting the absolute Brinks truck thrown at him?
I think if he does leave, they're gonna offer him a lot of fucking money, like a lot of money. Like they're coming for him.
And then I think that goes on to the next. I think that goes on to the next topic, like Brian Kelly. Like LSU's going to do the same. Dude, LSU and like Texas are equally as psychotic about their football programs. I mean, they're Ohio State and they're Michigan. Like, we would be the same exact way if both of them are in the same spots. They were firing their coach. We would be screaming, go get the best coach on the market. Go get Kurt Signetti, whatever it takes, right? And I think we saw this writing on the wall with Brian Kelly for a few weeks now, and we talked about it on Thursday. Like, he was coaching for his job this weekend. And when you come into Death Valley and get beat by like 30 or whatever it is, that's a guaranteed firing, especially when things are already going south the way it was. He was just fake from the beginning. You saw him dancing with recruits. He had the whole accent thing going on. It was just something that didn't work from the beginning, and I think a lot of people kind of questioned it even the second they made the hire. But LSU, like I was saying, they're another team that's like us psychos up here at Ohio State and Michigan and Texas and Bama and all these other places that expect to see a championship team every single year. They're going to throw the Brinks truck at LSU or at Kurt Signetti.
It's crazy to me that like LSU is such a powerhouse in like football, like just like with history and stuff. Like you have the 2019 LSU team with Joe Burrow. Sorry, I'm fucking choking on water. Drowning. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson, and completely annihilate every single team during that 2019 season. And they just go upside down. Like it's basically just like Stranger Things in the upside down world where everything is bad. Every day is a nightmare. They get Brian Kelly, can't win opening games. And the first one, the first opening game they've had in a while, they beat a really bad Clemson team, which completely shocked everybody. I mean, I just don't. I don't think if you're a player that is coming out of high school and you want to make a name for yourself and want to make the NFL, why would you ever want to play for Brian Kelly? Like, he's just a terrible leader. Like, he has zero accountability, always pointing the finger at someone else.
Yes.
Which is like I remember I saw the clip on Twitter because I barely watched the game and I saw like bits and pieces of it. But I think he was sitting there yelling at his offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Or just have a stern talking to.
You couldn't hit that more on the head. So he was last night. There were multiple times he was. Holy shit! Packers just had a huge play. Tight end just ran for a while. Anyways,
oh shit!
But there was multiple times where he's just dog cussing a coach on the sideline. I think it probably was the OC at times, but when I was watching, it was a special teams coordinator twice after like decent returns on punts and shit or kick returns, and he's just sitting there motherfucking him on national TV. Cameras zoomed into him, and it's just like, this is the whole issue with you. Nothing is ever like your fault, or like you just make it clear that it's pointing the finger. Like, somebody has to be better. It's somebody else's fault. I watched his press conference afterwards because I was like, this is going to be golden, and I was actually pretty impressed by how he handled the situation. But he was also in a spot where he didn't really have a choice. Like, he knew the writing was on the wall that he's getting thrown out. And if he wants to potentially be a coach somewhere else, he can't come out here and make a scene and make headlines with his comments post game. So he sat there and took it and basically said, I have to be better. The coaching has to be better. But then today I go on Twitter and I see an LSU account posted a video of him basically saying the same shit week after week after week after week after week. And it's kind of like, dude, you sit here and say things to the media. You say the things that fans want to hear, set aside from the couple crash outs that we've seen over the last few years as well. But then you go to flip to you on the sideline. You're motherfucking a kid up and down. You're motherfucking your assistant coaches up and down. Like, this is a clear leadership issue from the top, from you. The best leaders, the best coaches in any sport aren't sitting there doing that. Sure, they all have their moments where they get into a kid or they yell at a coach. But with him, it's consistent. It's all the time. And it really shows his cute true colors and what kind of douchebag he ultimately is.
Yeah. Did you see the press conference where the reporter was asking about like the issues with the offense and Brian Kelly stopped him and then basically told the reporters and like the fans that you're spoiled
Yes.
because
Yep.
LSU is a winning pro. Like, imagine if Sharon Moore did that, I would literally be up in Ann Arbor and start protesting every fucking day
Yeah.
that Sharon Moore was gone. And even like I can't imagine like that happening on Ohio State or any other winning like football program. Like LSU is a respectable team. Like they're a championship caliber
That's,
team almost
there's a
every
standard
year
there.
in preseason. Yeah, there's a standard there. And you can't just tell people who are also, your donors, your regents, the people that, obviously pay a lot of money who are the donors, but uh that just have so much involvement in history and the alumni of this team that you're just spoiled. Like, bro, you are fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder why nobody wants to play for you. And just imagine this: if Bryce Underwood would have went to LSU. Um,
Oh man.
God, he
Oh
fucking dodged the
man.
bullet. Maybe. Um,
Yeah, he did. He dodged a bullet for sure.
yeah, he
Michigan's
definitely dodged the
culture,
bullet. But
you can see it. Michigan's culture is 10 times better than what it is down there in LSU. He would be in the middle of an absolute fucking shit show down there right now. Like
oh yeah,
he probably wouldn't be playing. I don't know. Maybe they would have thrown him in by
no,
now.
there's
just
no
because,
way.
they may have thrown him in by now just because Garrett Nussmeyer's been ass, and they just like the fan base probably have been really, really, really loud about having the number 1 overall recruit. Like, let's throw him in there. And then Brian Kelly is clearly fighting for his job, so he's gonna appease to the fans. So you may have seen him by the end of the year, but regardless, he would still be right in the middle of an absolute shit show and toxic environment.
So toxic, man. And like I've played sports where like you've had coaches that just bring the entire morale down of the team, or just like work for bosses that just bring your morale down. Like, you don't want to excel at all, and you don't want to be a better just a better at your position or your role, because you just know that at the end of the day you have a leader that just keeps on bringing you down, and just the vibes around the environment are just not good for anybody. There's no positivity. And just seeing Brian Kelly just not take any fucking accountability at all. Like, I can't imagine what the practices and the staff meetings are, or the coaches meetings are like, just behind like closed doors are like.
Oh man.
Like, I can't imagine. Like, I would
Oh
love to see that.
dude. I bet he is
I would
just
love to.
motherfucking coaches up and down. I
Oh
bet
yeah.
there
Like,
isn't a
assembly
single
line.
guy on that staff that enjoys coaching for him. Nobody enjoys
Oh yeah.
coaching for him. At the end of the day, you have there's a fine line between like a good leader and a bad leader, obviously. But at the end of the day, you have to get people to do what you need them to do. But it's how you approach them, and it's the message that you send. At the end of the day, you're sending the same message. But there's a positive way and there's a negative way of doing it. There's a way that you can get through to people that will get them to respond in a positive way, and like you said, want to excel in their role, or in this case, coaches that want to
Motivate
excel in
them.
their role. Get the players buy in, and they want to go out there and play for you as the coach. And I think, like, from our perspective, I think Ohio State and Michigan players respect Ryan Day, and they respect Sharon Moore. Like, their assistant coaches respect them. They want to do a good job for him. They want to go out and they want to play really hard for them, because they know the message. They agree with the message and the approach that both of those guys take to get the locker room rallied and to respect him. They agree with it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this kind of like just ties back to like the earlier conversation we had about Nick Saban and Urban Meyer. Like, like, you respect these people and you want to excel, you want to improve yourself. You want to show that you're 100% capable and you're 100% competent at fulfilling the tasks needed, for a set position or staffing or whatever. But like, when you work for someone who sucks, like, you feel it. Like, you feel it in your soul.
Yeah.
That like there needs to be major change. And good for them. Like, their fans fucking deserve better, dude.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
LSU fans are fucking crazy.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
Louisiana as a state as a whole is already insane as it is, because you got people from the Bayou, like LSU fans since like the fucking 50s
Yeah.
and shit. You know what I mean? Like Duck Dynasty shit.
Dude, I for my job, we have a location down there in Louisiana, and it is in rural Louisiana. It is through and through LSU.
My old roommate was a fucking LSU fan, and he was crazy about LSU.
Really? Yeah.
I'm like,
dude,
yeah.
It's different
from the Bayou and
there.
everything.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
different down there. If you've never been there, you got to get like. I wouldn't say it's like a you gotta go type place, but I mean, dude, it's different. It's an experience for sure.
Have you ever had a crawfish boil?
Yeah, when I was down there, we did. We like legitimately.
Oh yeah, dude.
Pulled these fucking crawfish apart with our hands and ate them. It was good.
Bro.
It was good. I liked it and shit. But I think like whenever I try something new, I feel like the first time that I ever try something brand new for the first time, I'm kind of like, yeah, this is good. But when I have it like a second or a third time, I typically like know what to expect going in, and I like it a lot better. Where I think if I go back now and try it, I think I would like it much better. But they had like you just tear these crawfish apart. They have like this buttery type sauce. You dip it in there and eat it. I mean, it was pretty damn good. I can't lie.
You gotta like my roommate used to like he would get crawfish from his parents because they still live in Louisiana, and they would ship it during like crawfish season, and we would have like a boil and get absolutely fucking wrecked. And I swear I'd probably eat like maybe 7 pounds of crawfish. Like, and he put so much fucking Cajun seasoning in it, and it's nice and spicy and buttery. Or like not buttery, but like salty, and then you put potatoes, sausages, corn, and then like the mushroom caps, and you're like, oh, dude, so everything just gets soaked in the juices. You rip that fucker in half, fucking suck the head, eat the tail, and you're like, all right, now to the next one. It's fucking awesome. It's so primitive, but it's an experience.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like one of those things where I was like, I'm going down to Louisiana. It's in the heart of Louisiana. Like, I'm eating some fucking crawfish. But, yeah.
You're allowed to say homo naked?
Your impression is so spot on, though, with the locals. It's fun. So, the last two topics before we get into Michigan. Alabama, they escaped South Carolina. This was another one we talked about on Thursday. Keep an eye on this one. Alabama might go in there and might fuck around and get upset. They should have got upset. South Carolina basically handed them the game. Lenore Sellers had a late fumble, gave Alabama a short field, allowed them to go down, score, and ultimately win the game. But they had a 22 to like, was it like 15 or 22-14 or something, whatever it was. They had a 22-14 lead going into the fourth quarter, and South Carolina had all the momentum. Bama scored. South Carolina still had some momentum. Fumbled late, kind of screwed them. And then the last one, Ole Miss cruises past Oklahoma. Ole Miss should have won this game by probably 15 to 20 points. Some of the play calling that they had down in the red zone was some of the worst I've ever seen. So they had, like, with their starting quarterback, I can't remember what his name is off the top of my head. Their starting quarterback threw the ball 44 times. And on two different occasions, they brought in
Darnold. Was it Jackson? Is it Jackson Darnold?
No, that's Auburn's quarterback.
Oh no, fuck South Carolina.
Or I'm talking about Ole Miss.
Oh, Ole Miss. Sorry, Ole Miss QB.
I just can't remember his name right at the top of my head.
Austin Simmons.
That doesn't sound right. I don't know. I can't remember what it is. But anyways, their starting quarterback, he was number 6. He threw the ball 44 times and on two separate occasions down in the red zone, like inside the 10-yard line. Lane Kiffin put the fucking
that's who it is.
Yeah, Chambliss, that's what it is. Yep. And Lane Kiffin put the fucking backup in twice. And both, like, typically when you put a backup quarterback in the red zone like that, like, you think that they're probably going to run the ball here. But no, he threw the ball twice with the backup quarterback. And it's like, dude, you were completely overthinking this. You were like, all right, I'm going to bring in another quarterback here, but he's not going to run it. He's actually going to throw because everybody thinks he's going to run it. And it's like, yeah, Lane, I agree with you. Everybody probably does think that he's going to run it. But if you're going to throw the ball, how about stick with the starter who's warm and who's thrown the ball 44 fucking times in this game? I don't know. There was just like 2 occasions where I was just like, wow, their red zone offense was an absolute. I don't know if it's been like that all year. I haven't watched enough Ole Miss. I've only watched them a couple times. And it was an absolute shit show.
I watched the like earlier in the season, the Ole Miss Kentucky game where that was close too. Do you think Lane Kiffin leaves Ole Miss to go to Florida, LSU, or Penn State?
I think if he leaves, he's going to go to Florida. And I don't know. I would guess that he's probably about a 60% chance of going to Florida, 40% chance of not. He has ties to Florida. He's already been kind of rumored there. There were reports that came out Friday afternoon. He had a team meeting with his players to discuss going to Florida. And he basically, the message he sent him, which wasn't honestly not a bad message, but it was like, hey, this is just what happens whenever you're really good. Like when you're really good, other schools that don't have a coach want to come and get your coach because you're really good. And I'm like, honestly, the players don't really fucking care if he leaves or not, because we have this thing called the transfer portal. If he does leave,
right,
he's just gonna go
just transfer.
Yeah. So I don't know. I could see him maybe leaving, but it's also like you see like Penn State, you see Texas, you see LSU, you see Florida, like these schools that are out there that are like so-called like blue bloods and like better jobs than a lot of other places than like Ole Miss or Indiana, places like that. They're struggling right now, and you kind of got it figured out if you're Lane Kiffin, if you're Kurt Signetti at the places you're at now. It's like, do you really want to leave and change everything and try to go to a place that's struggling right now to turn it around? I don't know. I think, again, with the portal and NIL and everything, you can flip things pretty easily. If you're just a good coach and know how to manage things and get the right guys in the building, you probably flip things pretty quickly, but there's still a risk there when you already have it figured out.
I don't think Ole Miss is going to lose another game. They play South Carolina, the Citadel, Florida, and Mississippi State.
Yeah, they should win
Unless,
all
like,
of those games.
Mississippi State gives them a run for their money.
Or South Carolina.
But...
Yeah, they just played Bama. I don't know. There's just so much weird shit. I just think the competition in the SEC, I think from top to bottom, is probably better than the Big Ten, and the atmospheres are going on the roads a little bit tougher. But I still think like the top teams in the SEC aren't very consistent, and like why you see a lot of them like the last 2 to 3 years get into these weird matchups where it's like, oh, Alabama's about to lose to South Carolina, or we've seen it. Bama's about gonna lose to Vanderbilt. Like you just see these type of matchups; they're just not as consistent, I think, as what they used to be.
Dude, I don't understand. Like Vanderbilt is fucking on top of the SEC. Like that is just crazy to see. Like talking about like how like the normal blue bloods of like the SEC are just completely in fucking shambles right now. Like Ole Miss has always been like, you know, that high end to like high end medium of like the median of like they're there but they're not there yet, you know. Like when especially when Nick Saban was at Alabama, because goddamn, he always had fucking Lane Kiffin's number every single time.
Yeah, he did.
And I'm pretty sure they probably don't like each other.
Probably not
at all. No,
they're just their personalities. It was amazing that they worked for as long as what they did at Bama. I just feel like their personalities are so opposite.
You know, I feel like Lane's ego always like wanted him to like be better than Nick Saban and not like necessarily like learn from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is just funny to see. But the entire like SEC conference have kind of like just flipped upside down in like terms of like powerhouse teams like this season. Like Vanderbilt is a 1-loss SEC team, and so is Ole Miss. And then Georgia is Georgia's up there, but then like Tennessee's a 2-loss. and then Alabama's a 1 loss as well. But I mean, Alabama, like they've been escaping like on fucking threads lately, especially the game last night. I saw the end of that game, and when I say like the FBI should fucking investigate South Carolina's fucking what was it the cornerback, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why did they just let him go towards the touchdown, like 20 yards? Like he just put his fucking hands up. I don't know the dude's name, but I was like, what? I'm like, what? Like, why did you not attempt to make the tackle? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's funny.
I don't know if you saw that, but it was so
I did
fucking
not.
stupid. It was so stupid. And that's how they lost too. That was the end of the game right there. Yeah, I don't know. SEC is just it's odd this season, completely odd.
Well, I think since NIL's come into the picture, it's been odd. Everybody else has been able to play players what they were doing for years, and they magically think that this is just like I don't know. The SEC people are some of the dumbest people on this face of this earth. I'm convinced.
Literally, it's the game of hypotheticals with like the SEC. It always is.
It is. All right, let's move on and get into your Michigan Wolverines. Very big win over Michigan State this past week. Some questionable calls that came out there, or at least in the sake for Michigan State's fan base. Questionable calls, so they call it, that would have led to a Michigan State win. I completely disagree, but I'll let you take it away, Metal.
All right, so Michigan wins 31-21. It was a rough win, it felt like. I know that obviously the garbage time backdoor TD at the end, which if Anthony's listening right now, won some pretty good amount of money. And I know he was hating life for a little bit because, Michigan was beating the spread of 14.5, or I think it was 14. And they basically got the backdoor TD with fucking 13 seconds left, and they Sparty beat the spread. But yeah, Michigan did dominate them, especially with Aiden Childs just getting completely collapsed by Derek Moore and the D line. Wink Martindale was like pressuring 4 and 5, and Michigan State's O line is just complete dog shit. And Aiden Childs is not a good quarterback, and I kind of feel bad for Nick Marsh on that team because he is somewhat like a decent, I would say a little bit above decent, like wide receiver on that team. And they were just in complete fucking shambles the whole night. And I was so shocked that, like in Michigan fashion, that we were just keeping them so close in the game. When I think in like kind of like in context of like statistics and what you see, like it was just way far of an ass whooping. So still, Justice Haynes and Jordan Marshall, I still think are the two best running backs in the nation. Haynes had 26 carries, 152 yards, 2 tutties, and then Marshall with 15 carries, 110 yards, 1 tutty. It was so nice to see yeah.
Real quick, I want to stop you right there. I know that you're a Michigan fan, and you probably, I would think the same thing too. And I'm not disagreeing with you, but I wanted to bring up a question on that. What is your opinion on Notre Dame's duo of Jeremiah Love and Darian Price?
I think they are good. I do think they are good running backs. I feel like the depth. Let's say if Jeremiah Love is out, do you think Price is able to carry Notre Dame?
I think Price is the most underrated player in college football. I think he's really fucking good.
I don't know, because like I just like maybe it's just an eye test for me, and just like watching Michigan football, and maybe I have a little bit of biasness. I haven't really like paid attention to Notre Dame that much to say. Like I've looked at the stats and stuff. I'm like, okay, like just like looking at the numbers to say like, all right, well, like it's clear that like Michigan has the best running back room, and I know like Garrison has talked about that too before, to where like Notre Dame's running backs are extremely well, and also super talented just in the running back room in college football.
Yeah,
I just want to know.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think that like those two are the best in college football. I think that it's definitely Notre Dame and Michigan have the best duo. But like Jadarian Price has 509 yards, 8 touchdowns. He's averaging 6.7 yards per carry this year. I just don't think like Justice Haynes is really fucking good, like Heisman level good. But I think that you don't hear about Price as much because Jeremiah Love was like a Heisman candidate before the year even started. Where I think a lot of people didn't know who Justice Haynes was until like right now that he's playing and playing so well. So I think that Price flies under the radar a little bit more than probably what he should, just because he is playing alongside Jeremiah Love. But yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying that. I just think that that's another topic that a lot of teams probably would throw out there, or somebody else would probably refute and put out there too. But I think it's an very interesting discussion.
I mean, would it be crazy to say that Haynes is better than Jeremiah Love in this season?
I think running the ball, I think Haynes has a little bit more power. I think Jeremiah Love is probably a little more elusive, and I think that he's a little more dynamic in terms of catching the ball out of the backfield. But
yeah, you don't see that with Haynes. Haynes, I don't think we've done a couple of screens with Haynes, but you don't see Haynes like going up there running like Texas routes or anything like that on checkdowns or like any like wheel routes.
Yeah, if you're
rare.
talking about just I'm turning around and handing the ball off here, I think that you can make an argument for Justice Haynes being better. But I think if you're considering like the entire package of what I offer in the throw game, what I do like with the ball in my hands, like in space, like I think that's where Jeremiah Love is probably better than Justice Haynes. But again, like that's no knock on him. Like Jeremiah Love has 758 yards this year, 9 touchdowns, 6.1 yards per carry, and then he's got 19 receptions for roughly 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, I mean, he's basically about 40 yards off from 1,000 all-purpose yards on the year. I mean, you also have to consider, like, Justice Haynes, was he hurt for, what, 1 game? 2 games?
2 games.
2 games.
He was out, was it
so
2
he's
games?
got,
yeah, Washington and
so yeah, I
might
think
have been just 1 game. It was 1 game.
I think right here, like Jeremiah Love is averaging 6.1 yards per carry. Justice Haynes is averaging 7.1 yards per carry, 857 yards on the year, 10 touchdowns. And then if you look at like the receiving stats,
yeah,
sure, that's probably where the difference is. 13 catches for 50 yards. Yeah, 13 catches for 50 yards. Yeah. So I think that, yes, I would say Justice Haynes is a better pure runner of the football, but I think Jeremiah Love is like more versatile, I guess the best word is, where you can line him up at receiver. Like you can do probably more things with him. I don't know. I also think that probably CJ Carr is a little bit more of a consistent passer at this point in his career than what Bryce Underwood is. And I mean, I think a lot of that has to do with Bryce Underwood's a true freshman. CJ Carr is in his second year of college, so he's had some time to grow and develop in a college program. So I don't know. Maybe Justice Haynes is really good out of the backfield, and it's just the Michigan's plan of having to simplify things down where they don't get the running back involved a whole lot in the pass game. I don't know. I think it's a pretty good topic, though. I think it's a good debate.
I think like the way like Michigan uses Justice Haynes, like they'll use him like on the basically like the quick like halfback screen like routes, but that's like it. Like they're not. I haven't like I said earlier, like I haven't seen really much of like any like wheel routes or any Texas routes or anything like that where like Justice Haynes is getting down the field and making plays on checkdowns. Like I don't know. I haven't seen that at all. I mean, it is it is a good argument. I I don't know. Like I think if it's like as we like get further, like probably the end of the year, like I can probably say like who was a better duo at this point. I mean, if I'm just going by stats, like I'm just gonna say Haynes and Marshall
For sure.
at this point. Like it does suck that like Haynes was hurt with the oblique injury from the USC game. Obviously that hinders a lot of stuff, like possible like Heisman, talks. Not
Yeah.
not to win. Like there's no fucking way he would win a Heisman, but
I
to be
mean,
in that
he's
race
almost got
too.
900 yards with what's Michigan 6-2, 4 games left. I mean, fuck, man. I mean, he goes out and averages 125, 150 yards per game, couple touchdowns per game. He could be in the conversation. There's a lot of ball to be played yet.
So like the rushing stats right now, you have Cook, Cam Cook, Ahmad Hardy, Robert Henry Jr., and then you have Justice Haynes, who's only off by 100 yards from Cam Cook, and that's from Jacksonville State.
Yeah,
But
we're not
Justice
worried about
Haynes,
them. He's not winning the Heisman.
no, not at all. I mean, Haynes' stats are gonna get pumped up the next 3 weeks. I mean, we're playing Purdue, Northwestern, and then Maryland.
If you
And
could
who
just
knows
get,
what to say about.
if you could just get this quarterbacks at Alabama and Indiana and Ohio State to just chill the fuck out, Justice Haynes' Heisman value right now probably isn't too bad because he could definitely have a couple 150, 200-yard games the next couple weeks, 6, 7 touchdowns, and you're just like, holy shit, he really flew up the Heisman boards.
I mean, we'll see what happens with that, but I doubt that like Mendoza or Sayin are just gonna fucking take, anything's gonna happen to them. I see them winning out. Besides, like what
and
happens
it's a
with Ohio
quarterback
State.
award too. It's
Yeah.
it's really hard.
Besides
for somebody,
last year.
Yeah, it's really hard for somebody, a non-quarterback, to win it. So, all right, sorry, I didn't mean to
No, it's
steer
a
you
good
the other way.
conversation.
I think that it's something that you
um,
could definitely look into and revisit at the end of the year, though, or after the regular season.
Yeah. It was a good topic to go on. But so just going back to the Michigan game. Samaj Samaj Morgan still a fucking problem. Don't understand why he's on this fucking team. I do not understand what Ron Bellamy sees in this guy. I just don't see it at all. Like what is his perfect purpose?
Sharon Moore
on-
seems to like him. He's on the sideline dapping him up and shit.
Like what the fuck does he bring to the team? This is what I don't understand.
Know. He's probably a really good kid and works really hard, and the coaches
He
like him.
He probably is a really good kid, but I don't care if he's a really good kid. I want to see progress.
I want to fucking win football games. Fuck being
like
a good
I want to
kid.
win fucking football games. I don't. This isn't a fucking participation trophy event. This is like,
Congrats.
hey, this is Michigan football.
Congrats, you turned in
like,
your homework and you're behaving in class. I don't fucking care.
Congrats, you showed up. You have an attendance award. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Now go on about your business. Oh, by the way, you also have a fucking 1.4 grade point average. Thanks. But I like Ron, him being basically the number 3 guy in the wide receiver core just makes no fucking sense. Like they really need to like just start like subbing out and even putting like Bell in there or anyone else that has fucking arms and can catch the ball in that position right now. Like I don't understand why he's on special teams, why Andrew Marsh is not out there returning kicks, punting, and also for kick returning. Like it just makes no fucking sense. Every time that ball's in the air and I see Samaj Morgan, I'm just like, oh fuck. Like is he gonna catch his shit? Is he gonna muff a punt? Who knows what's gonna happen? And like his IQ of when he's with like performing like fair catches, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Yesterday,
Didn't you say he
Michigan
caught
State's
one at the
punter-
5 or something?
Yeah, you fucking fair caught it at the 5-yard line. I'm like, what, dude? What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, that's
Like,
bad.
it's the 5 fucking yard line. Let that shit roll. You're already there, but don't even try to fucking attempt to catch that. And then any other time, like there will be probably about 35, 40 yards of separation between like the opposing special teams defense. And he just runs fucking horizontal. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you out there right now? Um, like, I don't know if that's like special teams like coaching issues, or is Samaj Morgan just fucking dumb? And I honestly, that it's probably the latter. He had another drop pass yesterday with basically like 30, I think it was like 14 seconds left, or no, 20 seconds left in the half. The first couple of drives, there was Michigan was inside. I think it was 3rd and goal. Michigan was on Michigan State's 8-yard line. Michigan State brought pressure. Bryce Underwood rolled out to the right, and Samaj Morgan puts his fucking hands up, right? And he's in the end zone, puts his hands up, starts running the opposite direction like a drag route, and he fucking stops like 3 yards in. He just stops running, and fucking Bryce Underwood just throws it. And obviously incomplete pass, but I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, why are you out there on the field? I don't understand what Ron Bellamy and Sherrone Moore and Chip Lindsey see in this kid. Like, I mean, cool, he might be a great person, but what, dude, he's not producing anything. The dude's a fucking terrorist on the team. He is literally ISIS. Like, it's so bad. Like, you don't see this shit. Like, just the amount of chances that coaching has given this guy, and he's leading drops on the team. Leading fucking drops. It's just embarrassing. Like, it's so embarrassing that Ron Bellamy is coaching this team, and, you know, he was a Michigan wide receiver, and we looked so incompetent in the receiving corps. Anyways, so kind of just, and everybody talking about this. I saw it on Twitter, like Daily MSU and Intrinsic and everybody else, like just talking about the refs. Like, yeah, there was a lot of questionable calls, especially like after, you know, the first half where, I'm terrible with fucking names. So that was number 14 for Michigan State was lined up. And it was clear, it was so obvious that he was blitzing. Like, I don't know if you saw that or not, Divided, but like it was so fucking obvious that he was sending. And it's maybe this is just one of those things where, like, being a freshman, a true freshman, in a position of being a quarterback, like where you just have to see these, like, you know, pre-snap reads, and you see this guy coming at you, and you know that, like, you don't have like 2 tight ends or a tight end to block him. Like, he's fucking coming. Like, he's launching. And, you know, he kind of like read like the snap count like almost perfectly. Like, it's hard to tell like if he was offsides or not, you know? Like, maybe he was offsides. But as like he rushed Bryce Underwood in throwing motion, he fumbles it, and Michigan State runs it back for like 30 yards. Bryce Underwood tackles Hill. And, you know, the refs completely, you know, they changed the call, or they called the offsides on defense, and everyone's pissed. You know, everyone on Twitter's all mad and stuff, blah, blah, blah. It's just like one of those things that it's so tight. You know what I mean? Like that. From the motion of when the center snaps the ball, and then when he is close to the neutral zone, which I kind of think that he was in the neutral zone. But I mean, it doesn't really matter, because like Michigan State shot themselves in the fucking face with a rocket launcher, like the whole fucking game. You know?
Yeah, I mean, the final score was it like 31-20? I think the graphics are wrong. I think it was like 31-20.
31-1.
Or did they get?
Was it 31-20?
Did they go
oh,
for
they
two
did go
and
for 2. Yeah, 31.
Okay.
Yeah, 31-20.
Well,
Yeah,
in my mind,
my
it was 31-13. because they scored. That was a garbage time touchdown right at the end.
Yeah.
So if it's 31-13 and you take 7 points away from Michigan to make it 24, and then let's say Michigan State just happens to go down on that fumble, if it was still a fumble, and score, that score is only 24-20 then, meaning Michigan still won the game. And I saw other videos and shit on Twitter, like just ticky-tack stuff where it's just like, come on, man. Like, this is football. Like, that type of stuff gets missed and unnoticed every single game, every single week. Now, I see the argument for both sides. If I'm a Michigan fan, I'm going to argue he's in a neutral zone. If I'm a Michigan State fan, I'm going to argue that the ball was snapped. I thought the ball was snapped. It was very close, though. But
yeah, it was
the
close.
End of the day,
this is too hard to tell.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that doesn't change the outcome of the game. Michigan was obviously the better team in all phases. Michigan State's offense and Aiden Childs couldn't do anything. They had a couple drives where they were able to put something together and put points on the board, but for the most part, that dude was running around for his life, not making throws, and they couldn't run the ball. So Michigan deserved to win that game. They should have won the game, and they did win the game. If you want to complain about it, you can complain about it, but that doesn't change the outcome of the game. You're still going to lose either way. Secondly, I think that Penn State, or not Penn State, I think Michigan State kind of put some things on tape, I think, on how to handle Bryce Underwood. I think that you need to put pressure on him because he gets a lot of happy feet, and he's a freshman. Like we talk about this every single week. He's a true freshman. He's going to do these things. It's not me sitting here saying he's a bad player. He's going to be a bust. He's never going to go to the NFL. It's just him being a true freshman and only playing against high school players that he's always been bigger, faster, and stronger than ever before. But I think that they put pressure on him while still keeping him contained. It was a lot of what Ohio State and Michigan did to Damon Williams at Washington, where they were able to apply pressure but not allow him to escape and make things happen with his feet and throw on the run. They were able to keep him in the pocket while making him get the ball out quick. And you saw Bryce a lot of times, really bad footwork. He's falling away, throwing the ball sidearm. Like the things that we've talked about and we've seen from him, I think they kind of put it on tape last night. And I was like, this has been the MO for Ohio State. If you're going to go in and play Michigan, stop the run, make the quarterback beat you. But Ohio State hasn't been able to do that. I think that they've stopped the run effectively enough, but Michigan's quarterbacks have stepped up when they've needed to and made timely throws through the past few years. But I think that is even more so true, is if you can stop Michigan on first down and make them live in second and third and long, that's when you start throwing heat out there, putting heat on Bryce Underwood, and you see some of the flaws or some of the youth in him, I guess you could say. You can see him start falling away. You see the bad footwork. You see the sidearm type throws that lead to poor throws, poor mistakes, poor decisions, that type of thing. Again, like I said, he's a true freshman. He's on the road in a rivalry game. They probably scout every single Michigan game. They have probably somebody on Michigan State staff who is consistently scouting Michigan every single week. So they were going to throw the kitchen sink at the true freshman because they want to win a rivalry game. So I'm not sitting here shitting on Bryce Underwood.
You're completely right. I mean, I feel like a lot of like Michigan fans, like if you say that, like, oh, don't talk about our quarterback like that, don't talk about our team like that, don't criticize. You can't say that. Like, I noticed the same shit last night, too. I'm like, dude, he'll sit in the pocket for about a second, and then he's gone. Like, he's out of the pocket. Like, I saw that so much.
He gets a little timid, which, again, I keep saying, he's a freshman. He's a true freshman. He has never played college football before. He is only 8 games into his freshman year. He is going to do these things, and he is going to make these mistakes. This is completely normal. He's a lot further ahead than a lot of other true freshmen that have ever played at a high level. The only good ones that we've ever really seen do it is Trevor Lawrence, and he was absolutely insane. But outside of that, this is normal for a kid his age.
You know, I know it was like week 1 and it was against like New Mexico. Um, um, but like I see like I feel like we're kind of just like regressing in the development of like Bryce. Like yes, like Bryce was playing like a lesser defense like the first week, but like he looked so poised in the pocket. And I know it's scripted and for like, 15 or 14 plays, but like he just looked so comfortable and demanding, and being like the quarterback that like Michigan needs. And I'm not saying Bryce Underwood sucks or anything like that before I get straw man by, whomever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's like you see these like glimpses of hope, like with the Washington game. Like he played well in the
Played
second, like
very
throughout
well.
the game, right?
Played
He
very
played
well.
very well. Like he was on target, making passes that we needed to, Zach Marshall and Andrew Marsh and McCauley. Uh, it's just like going to this week, going to East Lansing, there was no fucking passing plan or passing attack at all. He would sit in the pocket, he would get flustered, he'd roll out, and then making big misses. There was a rollout play to where he was pressured by I think 5, and he rolls out, he throws it to Andrew Marsh. Andrew Marsh catches it, but I was thinking like, man, if that was a better throw, he would have been gone. That would have been a touchdown. But I mean, it was overthrown just a little bit, which stopped momentum and so on and so forth. But it's just small things. And yeah, he is a freshman. But my like biggest worry is that is Moore and the offense, Chip Lindsey and the QB coach, are they going to be able to develop him? And are we wasting talent away to where this kid ends up being like fucking Joel Milton or something like that?
I think a lot of it.
I mean,
I don't think he's. I personally don't think he's regressing. I think I have been impressed by him getting better as the year has gone on. But what I think is happening is you're facing better pass rushers now. Where when you're facing New Mexico,
yeah,
your offensive line was pretty well able to just keep him completely clean, and he didn't ever have to make any throws with guys in his face, because that's half the battle at quarterback is making throws under pressure and maneuvering the pocket and really avoiding the pressure and making the throws when you need to. I think that Michigan's offensive line is really good in the run game. They've always been good at that piece of it, but I also think that sometimes you see some struggles in the pass pro or in the pass blocking where there's just more guys getting to him. There's more guys in his face, making him kind of scramble around and do more of the off script things. Which again, when a true freshman is getting blitzed or getting pressured like that, they kind of just go into like almost hero mode, and they try to do like too much, or just try to like make something happen. And I think that's whenever you see the bad fundamentals come out. Whenever they keep him clean and he can get the ball out quickly and everything, I think that's when you see the good fundamentals. But I think it's more so just extra pressure on his face, and then like somebody's got to work with him on his fundamentals. Like, get your feet set, square your shoulders up, make a throw. Like, that sounds so 8 to 10-year-old like little league baseball type shit, but it is so true. And if Bryce Underwood already has all of the intangibles to be an amazing player. He's huge, he has a rocket arm, and he can run. Not everybody has all 3 of those things, but Bryce Underwood does. So if you can get him to do the things that every single football player in the world can control, feet, squaring your shoulders up, delivering a throw, everything like that, then that's when you're going to get somebody who's really, really good. And I've been saying this basically for the past month is somebody on Michigan's staff needs to hone that in for him. And I know that's probably pretty hard to do right now in the middle of the season. But I think from like an off-season perspective going into next year, if I was a Michigan fan, that would be the biggest thing that I would be looking for going into year 2 with Bryce.
yeah. Like, is he gonna progress and being comfortable in the pocket and like making those plays, making those throws, and not running around like with the chicken in its head, like head completely cut off? Um, I mean, like I do agree with you. Like this is all like expecting, like with a freshman quarterback. Like that's that's the obvious of it. I just like I said, like I just get worried that like are we wasting talent because we just can't like can more develop him into that quarterback. Um, and when I said earlier, like I don't think there was a zero planning for a passing attack this entire game, and which I was surprised because I know the first couple of plays, like we were basically going like deep and down target towards like McColley and Marsh, and then we only threw one pass in the second half. One pass.
Last night,
Um, yeah,
you guys threw one
only
pass in the
one.
second half.
Yeah, only one pass. That's what like he's only 8 he was only 8 for 17.
Holy shit, I did not know that. I saw he only threw
Yeah, so like
17 passes. I was pretty surprised by that, but I would have guessed he threw like 12 in the first half and like 5 in the second half or something. I don't know. Holy
no.
fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so obviously we
I mean, they
adjusted on
couldn't
offense.
stop. They couldn't stop you guys running the
No.
ball.
Fuck no.
So
Not at all.
I don't think that that's bad by any means. But yeah,
No, it's
you would
not
still
bad,
like
but
to trust your quarterback a little bit more to throw the ball more than one time though.
well also too like just getting like him like comfortable with that as
Yeah,
well.
for sure.
Because they're like luckily that I mean we've been in instances where we were down fucking big and we needed to pass the ball, especially to like USC and in Oklahoma, uh, to where like we're down 10 points or something like that for the game or 7 points. And we just make mistakes. It's just offensive play calling yet again to where like we're just making mistakes. And then also it is too like the fundamentals of Bryce to where like he's just not making accurate throws sometimes. Like Bryce will make a fucking tight window throw and it will be incredibly awesome to see. But then, again, it's just that throwing off the back foot and then the throw like is overthrown or too high. And it just causes like frustration and issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm surprised. I'll say this. I'm surprised that Bryce has only thrown 2 picks. Like I'm really am surprised.
I think a lot of it has to do with he throws the ball so fucking goddamn hard that most DBs can't catch it. That dude
Randy
rips
Johnson, bro.
the ball. Yeah, he
dude.
is.
Randy
He is.
Johnson. Watch out, birds. So which I was looking at the stats earlier today. So Bryce had a QBR of 38.5. Aiden Childs had a QBR of 26.8. That is
Wow.
fucking dog water.
Yeah,
That's awful.
He was not good. He didn't impress
No.
me at all last night. I kind of thought he was a little bit of a fraud coming in, and it only did nothing but just confirm that for me yesterday.
Someone told me that he's a black Daniel Jones. I fucking laughed. I was like, no, he's not.
Daniel Jones is balling out this year.
Dude, he is. Dude, he is fucking balling. He is good. New York never gave him a chance, man. He didn't have the team around him. Like he's balling it out right now. But like back to that. So what really impressed me too was Jimmy Rolder came out with like nine solo tackles and he had the fumble recovery. The big stop in like 4th and 3. With basically with the PBU, and man, he just came out with just playing absolutely awesome. And seeing Cole Sullivan go down, which sucks. I haven't seen anything yet for him on like any injury status updates or anything like that. So hopefully nothing too serious happened with Cole Sullivan. And then kind of just it's just like the play calling sometimes. It's like we put ourselves in these situations to where like it's 3rd and 12 and we're like, nah, fuck it, we're just gonna run up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think we kind of get scared and complacent to where I don't know if Chip Lindsey or more kind of trust the offense to get those yards. Like it's 3rd and fucking 12. But yeah, it's far. But at least like get somewhere with that. Like do some fucking drag routes. Like cause some separation in the fucking defense. Like Michigan State's defense in the secondary, they are fucking horrible. Like
Yeah.
Indiana fucking killed them. Mendoza killed them.
Yeah.
Like USC absolutely destroyed them in the passing attack. And that was their fucking kryptonite. I mean, everything about Michigan State is their kryptonite, but like the worst part about it was the passing attack. And we did nothing with that. I mean, we still won the game. Yeah. But I mean, before that, I thought like we were going to see some plays like with Andrew Marsh or Donovan McCulley, and that was just it. I mean, it worked. It worked out for us. Like I'm glad we won. But during the whole game, I'm just like, dude, this team watching this team is so fucking insufferable on offense. It's just so bad. I'm like, holy shit. Here we go. Run up the middle screen.
Yeah,
Like,
I just don't think it's very complimentary football. Like it's
not.
It's not a lot of like, all right, well we run the ball and we're gonna get play action out of it next time to complete. I think at times they do. Like I've definitely have watched Michigan and I'm like, oh yeah, like that was a pretty good play call. Like they are a play action team. They're a running team. Any running team needs a good play action passing game, and I at times I feel like that they do have that, and at other times I feel like that they, for whatever reason, either get away from it or just aren't executing it. But yeah, I think it's kind of a roller coaster ride for Michigan where you go into almost any game and you don't really know what to expect. Like it's almost like what Michigan offense are we going to get today? And
Yeah.
if you get into a game where you have a good defense who's maybe not allowing the explosive runs from Haynes and Marshall, where they're not breaking off 30, 40-yard rushes, where their longest rushes are maybe 10 to 15 yards, that's probably where you're going to find some issues.
I mean, we saw that with the Oklahoma and USC game.
Right.
Where like, yeah, Justice Haynes had the 75-yard, explosive TD, like long TD run. But that was pretty much it. That was all of it. Like, but like when they're down and they need to pass the ball, they did the offensive play calling and the offense itself just completely is in shambles. Like we don't know what to do. And what is still fucking shocking to me to this day that Klein is healthy and he's playing right now. There was not one. I think there was maybe two, but we don't fucking use our tight ends at all. Like
which is
it's
odd
just like
because
baffling.
Michigan has always been known for having really good tight ends, and that's part of what's hard of stopping Michigan. Yeah, you guys definitely got to get back to that.
We haven't seen it. We didn't do it against USC, and then same thing with like Michigan State, and Marshall did play really well against Washington. Like we had a lot of tight end plays with that, but against Michigan State, we just said nope, we're not going to do that. There were so many opportunities to where like Michigan State was sending, and if we had fucking tight ends there, oh man, like they were most of the time like they were in like cover 3 formation, and like if you just have a fucking tight end there or someone in the slot, like there was a couple of times where I saw like Andrew right down the fucking seam. I saw Andrew Marsh literally fucking wide open. I'm like, dude, throw the fucking ball, but nope, happy feet. But it's kind of like with last week, like we progressed forward. And then offensively going into the Michigan game, it felt like we just went backwards. But we got the win. That we did beat our rival. Like Shromore is undefeated. Yeah, a win is a win. Shromore is undefeated against his rivals as a head coach.
He is for a few more weeks.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Both
of us are
maybe
saying we'll see.
When Michigan beats the shit out of Purdue, I'll be like, all right, we're back on top.
Yeah.
I said we're back again. I think there was one more thing I wanted to say. No, that's pretty much it. Kind of.
Oh
Actually, no,
yeah.
I do have something. I do have something. So this is where like it kind of like opens up the door to hypotheticals of like the end of the season, right? So like if Michigan does beat Ohio State, um, what like I was like looking at the conference itself, like how does Michigan fall into like the Big Ten championship?
I think they would need probably like Oregon to lose too.
But USC beat Michigan. So like if because I know USC and Oregon play each other on the 22nd, and they only have one loss in conference.
USC does.
Yep. So does Iowa.
I guess they just lost.
So
It was
there's
Notre Dame they lost to.
yeah. So right now the standings are Indiana, Ohio State, um, and then it's Oregon, Michigan, USC or Iowa and USC
Yeah, I
as
honestly
like
have no idea how all those
yeah.
tiebreakers would work because you would definitely need USC to beat Oregon. I still think USC would get in because they won the head-to-head over Michigan.
Yeah.
They would be a one-loss Big Ten, beat Michigan, and then I like Indiana's not going to lose the rest of the way out for
Oh,
sure.
they're not losing.
Yeah,
No.
it's going to be either going to be Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, or USC that gets in there. So yeah, you would need
What if
Oregon to
fucking
lose.
Iowa wins out?
They have one loss, you said?
Yeah, they have one loss in conference.
Do they play anybody worth a
Who do
shit,
they
worth
play?
a pulse?
They play USC. Oh, they do play USC.
So that right there, that'll take care of that. So USC / Iowa. Yeah, that'll take care of that.
They play Oregon and USC back to back.
Yeah, so that will take care of. Yeah, you won't have anything to worry about there then.
Dude, if Iowa fucking wins those games, they're going to the college football playoff.
Oh my god, that'd be. I don't even want that for the conference. That'd be such a bad representation.
Dude,
They would get dog walked.
Oh, for sure. Dude, this entire like this year with like the Big Ten just because like Michigan is just winning, and then so is Iowa. Like completely, and same thing with USC is completely fucking throwing a monkey wrench into this.
Yeah,
It's like if
college
Ohio State
football
loses,
is as weird as it's ever been.
oh, it is so weird. Because like if Ohio State loses at the end of the year, now you have oh man, it's gonna be chaos. Like who's gonna play Indiana basically?
Yeah, it's Indiana, and then somebody else, and that just comes up to basically who fucks up the least from here on out.
Yeah, it's
But,
interesting.
yeah, there's a lot that remains to be seen. So let's get into Ohio State. I don't have a whole lot on them just because they don't have a game this week. I'll probably dig into it a little bit more and go a little bit further in depth on our show later in the week when we have the Ohio show. I think the biggest thing as of right now is we talked about the issues that they're having at the right guard spot. They need to figure out that spot, whether it's Tegra, whether it's Josh Padilla, whoever that might be. They need a guy there. And hopefully that just naturally leads to an improvement in the run game. A lot of times with offensive line issues, if you have one really bad link, it typically affects everything and everybody else on the offensive line. So Ryan Day had said going into this bye week that was going to be extreme focus was shoring up that spot and then improving some things in the run game. So whatever they did this bye week, hopefully they were, for one, able to get healthy, and then two, kind of figure some things out on that lens. And I really want to see an improvement on it this weekend. I want to see us be able to run the ball a little bit more effectively. I don't think that we're ever going to be a Michigan where we're never going to be at the standard of what Michigan is in terms of running the ball. And we don't have to be because we have Julian Sain, we have Jeremiah, we have Carnell. We have those playmakers on the edge that we don't need to sit there and run the ball 30 to 40 times a game. Other than that, I think that this is a trap game for Ohio State. I think that it's really easy to go into a bye week at 7-0. You've basically dominated everybody up until this point. It's easy to kind of get feeling pretty good about yourself and lose focus on what's ahead and kind of start looking ahead, I guess you could say. So for me, I look at this a little bit as a trap game, and it goes back to a lot of what we talked about last week. Like, this is a Penn State team that had a majority of their roster come back and decide not to go to the NFL and come back to win a national championship. Unfortunately, things have gone not really the way anybody has anticipated in Happy Valley, where you lose your coach, Drew Waller's down. But at the end of the day, these are still guys. A lot of these guys was a drive away from the national championship last year. So you know that there's dudes on this roster. When we were talking about best running back duo a little bit ago, I think going into the year, Penn State's duo would have been up there in the conversation with potentially the best. And
oh yeah,
you know that
100%.
Those guys are great players, and you know that they're going to have successful NFL careers. So my point is, if you're Ohio State and you're feeling pretty good about yourself, this is the Super Bowl for Penn State, and they're going to be coming into Columbus ready to go. And if you think that you're just going to sleepwalk through this one, I don't think you got another thing coming for you then. But the other side of me is, I've talked multiple times about, Ryan Day just looks different. The team just looks different. I think there's a different confidence that they walk around with than what Ryan Day walks around with than what we've seen in the past. I really am excited to see how they kind of approach this game. If they come out, don't skip a beat and do the things that we know that they're capable of doing, I'm going to feel really good the rest of the way out, because that tells me that this is a focused team. This is a team that understands that you can't leave any stone unturned. You can't look past anybody, and you got to come out and take care of business every single week. And that's really, from the surface, what I'm looking for this week. Can we be focused? Can we go and beat a team that is talented, has dudes on it, and is going to come in with you having a target on your back, and you're going to get their best shot?
I definitely agree with you. I feel like this is a major trap game. Like, Penn State has nothing to lose at all. Literally nothing. And Ohio State has everything to lose off of this.
You're going to see fake punts. You're going to see trick plays. You're going to see the kitchen sink come and be thrown at Ohio State.
Throw the fucking book at them.
You better be ready for anything and everything. And I will be, I don't think worried, but I think I'll be upset if I see us come out and play flat, especially coming off a bye week. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, all our aspirations are gone, our season's over with. I'm not going to say anything like that, but it's just a little bit frustrating, I think, where it's like, if you want to be great, you got to show up every single day and take care of business every single day, not when you want to and not when you feel like it.
Yeah. Every game has to be 110%, no matter who the opponent is. I mean, we've seen that with Ohio State too. Like, they completely shut out every single team that they played. And I mean, in some games, like, literally goose eggs. And they just dominated every single team. And this is a statement game, another statement game for Ryan Day. Like, even though, like, James Franklin is gone and Drew Allard is not playing, it's just Penn State is going to throw every single play in the playbook at Ohio State. They will come up with some crazy shit, just like you said.
Yeah.
To make sure that they ruin Ohio State's season.
And the other side of it
just
too,
a loss.
I hope Ohio State hears the outside noise. Now, I know that they're ranked the number 1 team, and they have been getting a lot of love from national media, just like, especially the defense, Julian saying like how great they are and everything. But there's a narrative out there that they haven't played anybody. And I agree with that. They have not played anybody. They haven't played anybody with a pulse. Anybody that they've played hasn't looked great. So I think that to be the man, you have to beat the man. I think that that's why that they're still sitting there at number 1. And I mean, if you watch them, like, they are dominant. They are a great team. So I disagree in a sense with people that are like, they haven't beat anybody. And it's like, but they just won the national championship and they look great. Like, you know what they are. But at the same point, if you're Ryan Day, if you're the guys in that locker room, you hear the things that are being said about you, about we don't know how good they are. They haven't played anybody. We'll see when they actually play somebody with a pulse. Everything like that. Use that as motivation. Use that as a chip on your shoulder for somebody who hasn't lost a game since Michigan last year. That should be your motivation. You are as talented, if not more talented, than every single team in this country, and you need to use that as motivation as you go the rest of the way out. Fuck everybody else. Everybody else is going to talk. Everybody else is going to say these things. Who cares? All you can do is show up every single week and take care of the team that's on the schedule and do it in a dominant fashion and move on to the next week. And that's another reason why I want to see them come out with some urgency, and I want to see them really show like, hey, we are who everybody says that we are.
Yeah, if it is kind of crazy that like people do say that though. Like you haven't played anybody. I mean, it's not Ohio State's fault that like Texas is not as good as a team as they were in the preseason rankings.
And
I mean,
like
you guys did handle fucking Illinois.
I always look back at like that Texas game and I'm like, that game couldn't matter any less. Like I said going into the game, this game really won't matter in the grand scheme of things on week 9, week 10. The only thing you need to do week 1 is win. If you just win, nothing else matters. Because Julian Sand had his biggest training wheels as they even sell at a fucking Walmart that game. Like they didn't let the dude do any. Ohio State couldn't be any more different than what they are today than what they were that first game. Like if they wanted to today and go out and play Texas, I personally think they'd beat Texas by 3 or 4 touchdowns. Just what we've seen from Texas.
Yeah, they would beat
but
the
Ohio
shit out of
State,
Texas.
Yeah, they would not. They didn't. They were playing to not lose. They were playing to protect Julian that first game, and whatever. Like. Say the Texas thing. I don't really care. At the end of the day, there's a W next to our name in that game, and that's all I really care about at the end of the day. Washington, I think, is a solid team. Both Ohio State and Michigan handled them. Illinois, I think, is a decent team. Ohio State handled them. Like I don't know. It's one of those things that media is going to talk. Brain deads like us on podcasts are going to talk, and they have a point. Ohio State hasn't played anybody, but in the other sense, like I don't fucking care. Like just take care of what you can take care of and move on to the next. And this is one of those opportunities. You have Penn State, a rival, coming into town. Take care of what you can take care of and move on.
Do you think Ryan Day and Heartline play that way where they protect Sane against Michigan?
No, I don't think so.
Where they play soft?
No. Nope. I think they're opening up the playbook. I think last year they waited to the playoff to open up the playbook. And we've talked about this before. I think there was a lot of arrogance in the play calling last year where it's like, we're going to beat Michigan at their game, at their brand of football. No, I think they learned their lesson last year. I think that you're going to see very creative play calling, and I think Michigan is going to get the kitchen sink thrown out them when it comes to the offense this time around. I don't think they're going to hold anything back, or at least I hope they don't. If they don't, I'll be fucking pissed. Like, call plays like you did in the playoffs, please, and then let's go.
Hey, Chip Kelly's doing really well against at the Raiders right now.
Should have stayed in Columbus.
Really well. Should have.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Brian Hartline had to take that next step at some point. But, yeah, other than that, that's all I got on Ohio State. Like I said, not having a game, there's really not a whole lot to talk about. It, basically just a repeat of everything we talked about on Thursday. But other than that, Metal, you got anything else before we get on out of here for the night?
No, not at all. It was a good show. Great weekend.
Yes, sir. We'll see if we can get back together next Sunday again and do another preview show. I like these Sunday shows. It's everything's fresh in my mind. Yeah. And then you can kind of
it is fresh.
You can talk about everything and kind of highlight the games that are coming up and whatnot. But
Green Bay is beating the Packers 35-19 right now, or beating the Steelers, not Packers. Jesus Christ.
I've been watching this in the background this whole time. Steelers are winning for a little bit, but the Packers have turned it on.
That's good for you guys.
Fucking Bengals.
Playoffs.
Win today. Win today. Win today. Win today. Win today. Win today. You have the same number of fucking wins as they do then.
You guys would be tied. You would have been tied in the fucking
well, they would have
North.
They would have a half game over us just because we would have 4 losses and they would have 3. But yeah, you're essentially tied with 4 wins.
Yes.
Unreal.
Frustrating.
Fucking real.
Hey, at least my NFL team is looking pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it's looking hell of a lot better than mine.
The Ravens
that's for
are
sure.
missing out.
This is why I appreciate Ohio State so much.
Buy your fucking garbage bags, everybody. Your grocery bags.
Get your fucking bags on your head. Fuck this
Your paper
franchise.
bags.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. If you could please retweet, subscribe, follow, yada, yada, yada. Everything that makes this show grow. We would greatly appreciate it. Other than that, thank you again for tuning in to a weekend recap where Michigan defeats Michigan State, Brian Kelly gets fired, and Steve Sarkisian might be heading to the NFL.